he he played with them because he was small, and I got worried about him, and I took him out to the base about his not growing, and the
Mhm.
man said, just give him a couple more years, and in them couple more years he sprouted, you know. So that and Morris was very particular about how he looked, clothes. When Morris came back from overseas, Morris had a leather jacket for every coat suit and the blue suede shoes and all that. Oh, Morris had it all. He had colors and everything, but he really was particular about how he looked. And but he was smart too. He came back, went to school from overseas. Him and George both went overseas, and he came back and went to college. But that algebra kept him from getting that piece of paper. But the people at the place told him, say, you got all the points to have the BA Bachelor of Art. And he said,
Mhm.
I'm not going to not give you this job because of that. And he was in this was after he came out of the service. And they gave him the job. And he worked till he retired for the federal government. But he stayed in the Marsh considered the Army a job, you know.
Mhm.
And he stayed in the Army 30, 38 years, almost 40. Yeah, so a lot of people were afraid. Huh? I ain't going to let you kill me now, but hey, death is where death is. You can be on the front porch. It was a job, and he took it as a job. But he also was asked when they thought when George Bush got in, the man over the First Army, Marsh worked in his office, and he told Marsh one day, if if George Bush sent me back over there, you're gonna have to take over this. Marsh would have been over the First Army. Ain't that something? He
Mhm.
was, but he did his job. Yes, he came out, but life has been good for him.
Okay.
Yep.
So tell me about Angela.
Angela, uh,
What are your first memories of Angela?
the first thing when Angela was born, she was born in a government hospital, and the major who was over the hospital, they came in and said that they had chosen Angela as the prettiest baby born in that hospital. They say they didn't go by looks; it was by features. Her features, because there were Chinese, all nationalities was in there. Said her features, they thought she had the prettiest features, and they gave me a paper to go uh, downtown to that big store. What was the name of it? To have a picture made. They gave it, the hospital paid for it. That's that picture
Oh,
that's
okay.
down there where she's sitting on that picture with the little bow in her hair.
Mhm.
Yeah, they thought she was very pretty because of her features. And but Angela, she loved to sew. All of them knew how to sew and make their own clothes. That's what I like. And they made all mine before I went to work the Blue Cross. So because we wore uniforms, and by the time I got that job, I had clothes. I had my clothes waiting on me. They done made suits and dresses and all like that. And but Angela liked nursing, and she took care of herself, and real business like. So she's she became a model for Mary Kay company. She traveled in New York and everywhere. They gave her all kind of things while she was modeling. And when they would have the latest thing here at the uh, Prime Osborne, Mary Kay products and the modeling team, Angela was always involved in that. And then she was over the uh, Weight Watchers. She taught Weight Watchers, and but she went to college, uh, the junior college, and she wanted to go into nursing. So to get into the nursing school, you had to have certain things they hadn't taught in the college,
Mhm.
some kind of math, some types of math. And so she stayed back a year to take that math so she could go to that school. And she came out there, but she got lucky. Like I'd say about family, my cousin Andy, who was a doctor in Tampa, when she got ready to go, they said, "How you just you don't know?" I said, "My cousin Andy lives in Tampa, Florida. He's the doctor there, the black doctor, you know." And when Angela got there, he met her at the station, and he helped Angela all the way through nursing school. She worked. He let her work in his office, and she was ahead of the other students because what she was learning with her cousin, and they took good care of her. And that's what that's the way this family is. Like Eddie, Eddie, I'm about bad as he is. When he say people ask him to say something about me, he said I can't talk about it. I can't talk about Algerine, but it's the same way with him. He took care of everybody in his family, and and he was so lucky and blessed because he stayed with me when I the whole year he was at Edward Waters. I took care of him like I was his mama. You know,
Mhm.
we both about the same age almost, you know. But we took, and he went to school right off my sofa. I was like his mama, and he said he loved the way how his mother felt about me when she came to Jacksonville. He said Mama went straight to the bed. She got kind of sick on the bus,
Mhm.
and she felt at home. But that's the way we were. We felt at home with each other. I felt at home going to her house. She felt at home going to mine. And if anything in it, if it had heard about anybody who needed something, he was right there. Somebody told him, I think Vicky had lost her job. They him know he's sending the money for her rent. I mean, he was just that away. He bought the whole family, and like Harriet's daughter, all of them went to college. He took care. He took care.
Okay,
And
well, let's segue back to Angie.
okay,
What were your other memories? Did you have any other memories of Angela as a child?
uh,
Just, not the college days, but before that, like high school or when she was
oh,
a
oh
little
yeah,
girl.
she was she was real involved in Ladies of Rains. You know, Ladies of Rains was something special, and she was in skits and she was good in literature. She would go on, you know, in tests with other schools and things like that.
Mhm.
And Angela was smart in school too, but her and Felicia were almost like uh, tip to tip. You know, in other words, they one wasn't gonna let one out do them. You know, they
Mhm.
tried to keep up in school. They passed them tests and they did it completely different. I say, God, Angela said she had to study real hard to take a test. When Felicia said she could cram, she can't do it that night. You know, just completely. But they were real competitive about staying in school and you know and it worked out for them.
Okay.
But Angela was small. She had that gift also as a child. She knew things, you know, like that. But they all grew up. Cheryl was over 'em. So I was working. But
Okay.
I think Cheryl has a lot to do with all of them.
Okay. She's like second mother.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me now about Herma Felicia Pearl Brown Chanel.
Ah, Lisa girl. But she always stayed there when she joined her AKA. I remember they went through here at the house, and she always had a lot of friends, real friendly. She still that way, but she I guess it's her character and everything. She had a lot of friends,
Mhm.
and she went to college. They all went to college together, you know,
Mhm.
and she did her year. I think she did a year here at the junior college. The next 2 years, she went to Tallahassee. Did 2 years at University of Florida, and
Mhm.
but she was homesick. She would she had found her job. They had found a job working at the package store, and when she went to school, she found one up there to work after school and stuff. And Felicia would work, get off at 11, 12 o'clock, and get on the highway in that yellow car and drive all the way to Jacksonville. She said she would open the window and just scream all the way here just to come home. So I told her that last year, I said, you gotta come home, go to school in Jacksonville because she would be homesick. I'm like Roxy like that, me too. But she came on home and she got her degree from uh, North Florida, out there, University of North Florida, here in
Mhm.
Jacksonville. So she went to 3 colleges, but she got hers here. And then Angela went on to Tampa and got her degree. But Felicia's something else. She liked to have fun too,
Mhm.
and she took these babies and had them in college. That's what they ever say to me. Auntie Felicia don't owe me nothing. She said she took me everywhere. And she
Mhm.
that auntie thing, you know.
Mhm.
But
Mhm. Now, what do you remember about her as a baby? What was her?
I tell you, uh, what I remember about her when she uh, was born. They used to say she can't hem up a hog in a ditch. In other words, she like a little bow in her leg. If you look at her, but it turned out that really I think this one is a little bit shorter,
Mhm.
but you can't tell it. But
Mhm.
she would, for every picture she looked at, she looked like she bow legged.
Mm.
I remember that, but she had the cutest, and I like, she had real straight hair too. She had that, she was darker complexion, but had straight hair.
Mhm.
Yeah, but and she had, she was a little sick. Thing born with two urethras in there, so that they had to do a little surgery or something on her when she was about, I don't know, about 8 or 10 years old, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, but she got through that too. But they all did good.
Okay. Now let's talk about the baby girl. Your namesake, your junior, Algerine,
She looked like,
Lynette.
oh, that was the net. She was. They say we spoiled her rotten, but she she was fine. She reminded me of Tanya and
Mm.
Gia, all them last babies.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was. She was. Cause I remember. I guess we did spoil her. She did what she wanted, but I know one night she got out that window and walked around to her daddy's house. And you know I like to have a fit. But don't you never do that no more.